Alright, what's up, y'all? I am going to talk about innovation today on my ride home. I've tried to make this video a couple of times and I end up getting off track, so hopefully this one I'll stay on it. Alright, in my training and in my outlook on fighting, I like innovation. And I feel like there's only two types of people. There's people that have to figure things out themselves, and there's people that need to be told it and they're going to believe it and they're going to go with what they're told. I am the person that has to figure it out myself. If you tell me you put this with this, it makes this, I want to see it and I want to do it and I want to make sure it's right, because I've seen so much false information in this lifetime, whether it's work, fighting, sports, news, anything. People lie and people run with it, or people are confused and have misinformation and continue to spread it. Also, something that I've learned by doing these things, say they're saying mix this with that and it creates this item. Well, then I start doing it, and what they never said is halfway through you could stop mixing it and you created another item that's totally not on the. It's like discovery, something. Everyone's just bypassing it because everyone's brain is different and picks up on different things. All right, so I had this specific training idea, or this theory. My theories on fighting, if you've trained under me, you've definitely heard me talk about this. I believe in volume. You should never stop striking. When I first started coming up with this, I was like, man, everyone's got 2-punch, 3-punch combos. We should be throwing 12, 16, 18-punch combos. I don't know, man. That's a lot. That's crazy. Well, here I am. You should be throwing 300 strikes in a 5-minute round. It's just, that's my outlook. You should not stop. It's autopilot and stuff. All right, so, and I believe in straight strikes. The quickest way to travel a distance from A to B is a straight line. Man. So, those are two fundamental things on the way I approach fighting. All right. The specific task I had involved running a 5K, and I wanted to throw punches, like simulate punches, while I'm running the 5K. The only thing that has stopped me from doing this is my own social anxiety of people judging me on the outside. And I got to get over that, because everything I end up doing on my own, it ends up leading to great stuff. I end up finding new information, learning something new, figuring something out. It's detrimental because the entire time I do this, people are basically putting me down. And if you're someone out there who innovates and tries new things, you understand exactly what I'm talking about, and I fucking love you. Well, I wanted to do this, and my theory on running this 5K like that is I could walk all day. I could walk for 12 hours and I'm going to be fine. My legs are just limbs off of my torso, just like my arms. My legs aren't as flexible as my arms because I use my arms in a different manner than my legs all day. I don't fire my arms all day where I could fire my legs all day, and they've built an accustomed to this of 35 years of walking and whatever. If a person were to, in theory, if a person were to start throwing strikes during running a 5K the entire time, we're building that conditioning of, like, our legs just constantly being able to move our strikes. Now, I feel like this was said to me, but I have yet to go run the 5K with strikes, throwing strikes the entire time. I've done an hour on an elliptical a couple times where I throw the strikes, and I started working my shadow boxing in the sauna and steam room. Anything I'm doing, y'all, I don't recommend y'all do. Like, you have to work your way up, and I'm really disappointed in my own approaches. So, like, the fact that I did shadow boxing in the sauna, there's a lot more work that went into that than just that simple statement to get to where I can do that. Okay. Someone beat me to running this 5K throwing punches, and I barely know the guy, but he uploaded a little video or a reel or whatever, and I was like, man, beat me to the punch, So I had to send him a message and was like, that was cool. What'd you think of it? What'd you feel on it? And I kind of shared a little bit of my thoughts and what I've been thinking about. And we talked a minute, and he wasn't being negative or anything, but he shared with me, and maybe he thought I was Okay, so like the only reason I haven't done it, the 5K with the strikes, is my social anxiety, people judging me or something. He goes on to tell me someone else asked, and he didn't tell me who. So if you're that person, you watch this, and you get offended, I can't help it. I can't help it. He tells me someone else was asking him about it and if they felt it worked or whatever, and they ran, and then they recommended what would be better was for them to run and stop like in the middle of the run and then shadow box. And then I guess keep running, shadow box for a minute or something, keep running. Okay. I feel like that was actually said to me too, not like in a direction, but when I was talking about this theory to someone, and it's a really talented fighter that told me. So we're all entitled to our opinions, but I challenge everything. So I'm going to address that specific sort of statement aggressively and intentionally to try to get this idea across, this concept across. All right. So if you're going and running a 5K, you already know how to run. You already know how to stop running too. You already know how to shadow box if you're shadow boxing. If you're going to run a 5K and then stop and shadow, you already know how to do both prior to doing it. All you are doing is building conditioning. That is all you are doing when you're doing that. You are not building any new ability. There is no innovation going on. You are running, which you can already do, and you are stopping, which you can already do, and then you are shadow boxing, which you can already do, and then you are running again, which you can already do. All you're creating now is an increase in duration. That's all you're doing. Now, that's not a bad thing, but that's all that is being accomplished by doing that. Or then throw when you're tired or whatever. There's nothing else is being done. As compared to throwing the strikes on the 5K. One, you are increasing the difficulty of your 5K by a bunch of different ways. So I'm going to say it's 25%. Now someone will be like, it depends on your perspective. Someone may say throwing punches that long, we'll say your 5K takes 25 to 30 minutes. Throwing punches that long increases it by 50%. I'm going to say it's 20%. You have some people out there that say it's 5%. Well, right now we're only talking about the physical side. If you keep up with my videos and stuff, you've heard about me talking about chest and the mind burning energy. You are using your mind when you're doing that. You are upping that way more than you realize. Just like when you get in a fight for the first time and you throw 3 or 4 punches and you're totally gassed. The adrenaline, the nerves, and everything. You're adding that pressure when you do it with the 5K. Now, what you're also doing, in innovation, you can find discovery. And that is very important. You will not know what can be learned by doing the 5K with punches until you do it and learn it, because no one's fucking doing it. So, in my head, just thinking going in, subconsciously, you are going to gain the ability and timing of having a foot down and the strike extending perfectly. That's going to happen subconsciously because you already know how to properly strike. So you're going to build that on each step. That's slowly going to get better whether you're trying or not. It's just going to happen. The body takes care of itself. Then in addition to that, you're also going to learn you're going to start feeling the power in your hips. You're going to learn different ways to throw. Just like the first time you started punching. We're all throwing with our fucking shoulder or whatever, or our elbow, instead of putting our hip into it. But then we go on to learn, you don't always want to put your hip into it. Not every strike needs to be the hardest strike. There's a lot of different things. You're going to run into different aspects like that where you'll feel the power while you're running and throwing strikes that you never would have felt before because you've never done it. That's discovery. Then in addition to this, you're going to gain the ability, like I was saying with timing, to be able to effectively strike and have confidence to effectively strike while running. Not very often in fighting are people stopping and planting their feet and being in close. You're usually having to go forward or backwards while you are striking effectively to engage and create a moment. You have to watch my other videos to know what a moment is. So yeah, basically, in a simpler way, why would we want to keep doing the same things that we've always done? Do it different. Do something different. You're not going to be able to know what you're going to learn. You can't go to jiu-jitsu for the first time. That's a good example. Go to a jiu-jitsu class for the first time because you watched and you think you're going to learn an arm bar. They might show you an arm bar on your first day just so you can see it. You will not understand it. You will not effectively be able to just do it in a fight when you leave on that first time. But you know what you probably will learn? You'll probably learn about cardio. You'll probably learn about weight control or staying heavy or people being heavy on you. And you didn't have any of those thoughts in your mind when you were going into jiu-jitsu practice. That's discovery. I can intently create discovery by intently innovating my training. That's Concepts with Kimbler.